So it says recording in progress. I'm seeing
I
waveforms.
see them for you, and I see them for me.
All right, we're good. We're
Yes,
good. All right.
we're at least doing better than we were.
Yes, I
All
like
right,
it. All
game
right.
off. I had a fun little yesterday. We went to Top. You ever been to Top Golf? I think
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
took
they
you
have one
took me
there.
there, man.
Oh, here you came here.
Yeah, it's the only place dude, they need to open up one of those in over here in California,
They
man.
have.
That
I
that
think they
shit's
have one.
that
I'm
shit's
surprised they
ridiculous.
don't.
That shit's
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous.
So we had like a going away party for a friend that's in the reserves and he's getting deployed. He's in the Navy Reserves and he's getting deployed. So we had a little going away party for him. Nothing big, just like four of us and our significant others, like four couples. But yeah, it was a fun time. It was like it's funny because we're all like kind of different stages in relationships as far as like our marriage and stuff. One guy is engaged. One guy's like newly engaged, and then one guy is, and then there's me and my wife, um, and then one guy was, they were expecting a kid, and then the other couple was the husband was leaving, so all different types of stuff that some relationships are built for some ways, and some relationships are built to withstand certain situations, and some kind of aren't. So, like, there's
What are you trying to say, man?
well, like because I know our like I mean speaking just for our relationship, me and my wife, I know that there's certain situations that our relationship's not built for, and so we just avoid those kind of situations. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it.
Cheating is usually frowned upon.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we usually don't like that, but some couples are cool with it. I mean,
yeah.
hashtag Kobe Bryant.
And yeah. Apparently you can throw money at
Yeah,
anything. So, and like 7 carat
yeah.
diamonds, but whatever.
So well, so that maybe
It's
that's
like we brought it back to basketball.
so.
You have to bring it back to basketball.
That was my like 2 minute segue back into basketball just to trick you.
So just to let you know that 3-on-3 basketball is
For our viewers who missed the
oh
last
god.
episode. No, but yeah, you're right. So maybe we don't have the tools to build a relationship based on that because we don't have 7 carat diamonds.
No, in order to successfully cheat, you need to have a
Yeah,
lot of
boatloads of
money.
money
You
and
have to have yeah, you essentially have to have reasons to why they wouldn't leave
yeah.
you. And
I don't have enough.
yeah, that's usually it. Yeah. Most people
I'm
don't
not rich
have
enough.
those.
I'm not good looking enough. I'm not I'm not charismatic enough. What else is
Oh
there?
dear God. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you don't have a 48-inch vertical. Um,
Yeah. Or a 48-inch penis. So
oh yeah, there you go. Have you ever met anybody with a 48-inch penis?
no, no,
I've
no.
seen it online, but
Well, or I wouldn't know. I mean, if I shook someone's hand, I couldn't tell by the handshake.
oh man, unless you just got like massive arms, like one massive arm from. So what's that from? Sometimes I gotta pee. You know,
Is that weightlifting? You could say that.
sorta. Yeah, sorta. I mean, yeah, why not?
Oh yeah. So so during the Topgolf night, it was funny. We were talking about kids and like our kids, and then how did it come up? But we asked one of the guys like, how would you choose like for the guy we asked him like, hey, when you come back home from deployment, you should do the thing like they do on YouTube where you surprise
That's the
the
worst.
kid at school like in
That's the
uniform,
worst.
and the kid
No.
gets all mushy and they start crying. I love
No.
them. I love those things. I can't get enough of them. But anyway, that was like our little. We were just talking about it, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't know, man, because I got 3 kids, and I wouldn't be able to make all the school. So then I got to choose." And then we're like, "You just choose your favorite one." And he goes, "Oh, then I would choose my daughter." He was like, with no hesitation,
Oh wow.
with no hesitation, he just pinpointed his favorite one, and we're like, "Dude,
Damn.
that was hypothetical, man." But and he's like, "What? You don't have your favorite kid?" And we're like,
No, dude, not like that.
"No, I don't know."
Not like that. Not that quick. You know.
Yeah.
It's like when people say that, like there's a scene in Batman where the Two-Face has Gordon's
Uh-huh.
kids, right? Or
Uh-huh.
he has the wife and kid, and
Okay.
Like essentially he threatens to kill the wife, and he's like, "Oh, please don't do that." But then he points the gun at his son. He's like, "Wait!" You know. So it's like, "Oh, we know what's up."
Yeah, and that was the reaction we had. We're like, no, dude, I don't have a favorite kid. I've never thought of it like that. But then the question was rephrased, and the answer was surprising because they're like, what about your parents? Do you think they had a favorite kid between you and your siblings? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of think they did. And then, like, the answer shifted. Like, I don't know, with you and your brother, like, do you think one of you was a favorite? Because, like, I feel like with me, my brother, and my sister, like, there was a favorite. And then, like, I think from teenage years on, I feel like between siblings, you can kind of guess who the favorite sibling is. Like, based on parents. This is just based on the cross section of people that we were talking with that night. So I don't know if that's true with other siblings.
I don't know. And the thing is, by saying I don't know, that automatically makes me the favorite, right?
No, I don't know. Well, we're both the favorite. No, I don't know.
And whenever people ask us, it's funny because I remember my brother's friends would come to the house, and it's kind of like that Canon commercial. There's a commercial for a photography printer, and there's a little girl, and she's looking at all the pictures of her older brother, on the wall. Right, and
okay, I know.
I think I sent it to you guys, and she goes, "How come I don't have any pictures on the wall, and so has pictures on the wall?" And the mom goes, "Because when you were born, we had Facebook, and you're on mommy's posts and on mommy's Facebook." And the little girl goes, "Okay," and then she starts fucking breaking everything in the house.
All the frames of the other kids' pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is the same kind of thing happened at my house. So they would always ask my brother. They would tell my brother, "Your brother, me, must be the favorite because there's only pictures of Paul on the wall."
But that's what was their excuse then? Because that wasn't at the time of social media.
It's just because the cameras, like, I'm the first kid. They're gonna take pictures of everything.
Yeah,
second kid.
That's not true because like we have YouTube videos of slideshows of our first kid, and the second kid, it's just like pictures that we just have, like a percentage of pictures we just didn't take because we're like, oh, we remember that one wasn't that important for our first kid's life. So it was almost course correcting, but I'm sure this younger kid doesn't see it that way.
No, then they won't.
So. Yeah, and that isn't really necessarily a factor of being a favorite. That's just a factor of being older.
Yeah, but
in that scenario.
Think about the way the second's gonna look at it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, yeah, I remember the commercial, and I think it's really funny. I thought it was a Kodak commercial.
Kodak.
Like, I thought
Kodak's
it was
dead, bro.
Yeah, because no, well, because it was supposed to be. I thought it's for like printing, not cameras. I thought it was a commercial for printing pictures.
It's a Canon printer.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't a Canon. I mean, it wasn't a camera commercial. It was for printing, right? Like, hey, print pictures because your kids will remember.
There was
like
another
that.
set of in the commercial. There was something else where, like the like two kids, like a kid and his friend, are at the house, and she's like, "Mom, what's like? Can I see the pictures of that touchdown pass I got?" You know, and she's like, "Yeah, go ahead and go through the camera and go ahead and scroll." And they start scrolling through the camera, and they're like looking, and all of a sudden their eyes get wide, and they go, "Is that your dad?" And then like, "Is your dad crying? Like, you know, what's he doing here?" And she's like, "Oh my God, scroll right." And then she runs over or whatever, and then it says, "For the pictures you should have printed," right? Like.
Yeah, that does happen whenever like I want to show someone a picture on my phone or something. They automatically think they're allowed to touch the screen on my phone, like to zoom in or to pinch it or to scroll to the right or to the left. Like, hey man, I just wanted to show you this one picture. Don't touch my stuff.
It's like, just because I asked you to look at a picture doesn't mean you get the opportunity to dig, you know. So don't look at my shit, homie.
Or like maybe sometimes they exit out of the pictures and then they start.
Yo! I was on level 76.
Whoa, man! Yeah. What the heck? What are you doing messing around on my apps? What are you doing on my emails, dude?
There's no reason why you should be going through my shit, buddy.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. As far as like kids growing up and parents trying to convince them that they're not trying to play favorites, I don't know. It seems like a constant battle because, like you said, the kids have a different perspective, and for the most part, they. I guess they may not believe that the kid doesn't have that the parents don't have favorites, or they may not believe that the parents are trying to be fair just because they're not always being uniform with each kid. Nor
Right.
should they be. I mean, the kids are different. But yeah, but then when parents treat kids differently, sometimes a kid thinks that it's indicative of favoritism.
Well, because you like so and so better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. Like both kids think that they're not the favorite. It's like when you're a referee and both the coaches think that you're favoring the other team. Like, whoa, sorry, man. I'm trying to be fair, and apparently by being fair, I'm not pleasing either one of you guys.
You want to talk about reffing? Let's bring it back to basketball. I got that shit all the time, all the time.
I
And
can
I'm like,
imagine.
it'd be fair if it'd be fair if I threw you out.
Yeah.
How about that? Oh, you want to give the other team points? Great. See ya.
I remember
Can
having.
you imagine me,
Huh?
dickhead referee?
What's that?
Can you imagine me, the dickhead referee?
Yeah, I might have got thrown out.
Oh yeah.
Like what? What are you talking about? What? Why are you coming over to me, dude? Whoa, hold on, step back, bro. Yeah, that stuff is stressful, man. But I don't know. I mean, I guess part of me was thinking, man, that's brutally honest. That part is kind of admirable. Because I usually try to sugarcoat things till the cows come home. Like, no, we don't have favorites. No, we try to do the best for everything for our family. But like, I don't know. In that case, he was just like, nope, this one's my favorite. If I'm gonna go to one homecoming and I can't make the other ones, then so be it.
Gotta be fair.
Yeah, all right. Well,
We got.
I
Yeah.
guess that's settled.
It's like we gotta be fair, sorta.
But another thing though too. So let's say you have a favorite, or let's say not even favorite, but let's say you have like a kid that you think is kind of excelling, and then you have a kid that you think is kind of struggling. By disclosing that to the kids, are you then leveling the playing field, or are you amplifying the difference?
Amplifying the difference.
Like the black sheep now like believes he's the black sheep, right?
Well, no, because you've proved that he's the black sheep.
Like you've confirmed
Yes.
it. I mean, not proved it, but you've verified it in his mind, his or her mind.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw, what did I see? I saw either it was on a podcast or like a Facebook video or something, and it said that we kind of have it wrong by we're wasting valuable time trying to make up for our weaknesses instead of trying to master what we're good at.
That's that book that I was telling you about, man. That's the Strengths Finder.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably part of it. I
No,
saw it
in fact,
recently though.
that Strengths Finder book, the biggest example they say is, imagine if Michael Jordan took all the time and just worked on his weaknesses. That would just make him an average player.
Yeah.
Like, he would have all these things that he's good at, things that he's
Yeah.
not good at. Imagine if he pushed those up to average.
Mhm,
The top, like his top stuff would never go up.
Yeah.
So why doesn't he work on the stuff where he's already on top? Because then that will push him even further and make him more great. It'll make
Yeah.
up for those weaknesses.
That's true. I mean, is it absolutely true though? Because that's like saying I'm never going to work on my left hand dribbling because my right hand I need to focus on that because I'm dominant right-handed.
No, but that's also to look at that. That's okay. So you just have to be proficient, right?
Yeah, like you can't let anything detriment. You can't let any of the important stuff slide. I mean, I think that if you're like a master at shot blocking, but you could do nothing else other than shot block, I don't know if that's enough. So, I do think there's a baseline for some of the essential skills you have to have for whatever your craft is.
Right. But then at the same time, it's like the thing that you're good at. Like you wanna, if there's an opportunity to make that better, to put another 10,000 hours in.
Yeah.
Like if you get that even like just
Yeah.
like 1 percentage point better to go from like 100 to 101%. Holy shit, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. I think that sometimes the lines are blurred, especially for those that are discovering themselves. The lines are blurred as far as which skills are essential and which skills are the ones that you don't need in order to become a master at what you're trying to do.
Right. Well, those complementary skill sets as well.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? It's, to me, I think it's much more the feedback and the evidence is much more obvious in those elite circumstances, and it's much more of a challenge for those of us that are like in the middle class, working class. Like, what kind of stuff do we work on? You know, because for us, it's not like you're gonna be like the top 1% at any one thing. You're you're kind of trying to find like your level of success in your own part of the world. So when you compare like your success or your skills or your craft to the population, I don't think you're not going to find yourself, or I guess for me, like most of us, we're not going to find ourselves like as world class as some of the like most famous examples. So for those of us, then where do we draw the line as far as what can we continue to work on, or what should we say, hey, this is not important enough to work on, you know?
Well, wouldn't you think that's relative at that point? Like, look, this might sound pretty conceited, but I think I'm an awesome photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I look at other people's photography and I go, that's awesome too. I'm capable of that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But what separates me from the other photographers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the gigs,
Yeah,
right? So what's keeping me from getting the same gigs that
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
get? Honestly, the marketing. They're better at
Mm-hmm.
marketing. They're better. They have better
Mm-hmm.
connections. They have a lot of other things that are better. I can't be mad at that. I can just work on what I have, and hopefully, I like to think that essentially my products hold up to any kind of scrutiny, or they speak for themselves. But at the same time, I don't get down because I'm not getting like these crazy paid gigs. I'm happy to do
Yeah,
what I do.
yeah, I guess so. But like, I guess okay. So let's take what about the nursing example, where nursing is much more of a conventional field where you're an employee, you know, and you're kind of following like a more conventional path with among other nurses. So there are things that you're probably good at, even compared to other nurses, and there's probably
Mhm.
things that like through experience or through whatever, other nurses have found their niche where you're not really there. Like, do you try to mimic them in order to try to fit into that crowd, or do you try to focus on what you're trying to do, or do you try to integrate the two, or do you kind of concede that this is not my field because this one is? I don't know. Those kind of things go through my mind whenever like I'm at work or just going throughout the day. Like,
See, the way I look at it is I ask myself, am I willing to sacrifice what they're willing to sacrifice? And if I'm not,
mm-hmm.
then kudos to them, and that's
Yeah,
not
but
going to
is
be
the
mine.
answer is the answer always that easy to come to for you?
Yeah, it's pretty black
Really?
and white. Yeah, like say a nurse has, say a nurse gets a promotion.
Okay.
Like I think about what it took to get there, or hey, I'm an LVN. I'm a licensed vocational nurse, or I think in
Uh-huh.
Texas, the LPN, licensed practical nurse. There's a step underneath an RN,
Okay.
and a lot of nurses get hired over me because they're an RN. It's a higher level of education.
Uh-huh.
Am I willing to sacrifice the time and the effort to become an RN?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but then by doing that, I sacrifice a lot of other things. I probably won't be able to do photography anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's a trade-off.
I'm gonna take a hit in the pocket for the loss of income because I won't be able to work.
Yeah.
You know, and then for what? Like, is the money gonna be worth the amount of the like? Essentially, I would just become a nurse.
Hmm.
I don't think I'd be sane if I just stayed a nurse.
Interesting. That's interesting to hear.
There's
Like,
no
it's not fulfilling enough. Is that what you sound? Is that what you're?
artistic like with when I do photography, the artistic outlet that it gives
Mm,
me, um there's more protocol in nursing than there is in photography.
okay.
And photography, I find myself thinking more because you essentially in wedding photography, you're always you're coming up with ways to solve problems on the fly, and that pressure is immediate.
Mm,
So I like that. And nursing, there's a protocol for everything. Patient does this, you do that. If the patient's showing this, you notify these people. Here's your protocol. That 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 that. If the patient if the patient is going through this surgery, they're going to have this piece of paperwork, A, B, C, and D. They need these consents, A and B. They need to follow these steps. Check marks 1 through 7.
that's That's interesting that you
it's
think
all
of it that way,
protocol.
because it sounds like you're saying that there's no creativity in nursing, and maybe it's in.
There's resourcefulness. There's also there's you can be resourceful. You can also be creative in ways to where that was one thing I did like about home health
Mhm.
nursing was
And
if
because they're
I showed up to a
uh,
house, if I showed up to a house and they're like, you need a dressing, brand
mhm,
A, and I'm like, well, I don't have brand A. That's the order, so I either have to go back and get it, or I can call and say, hey, I might not have brand A, but out of products B, C, and D, I can make
mhm,
product A,
mhm.
or I can accomplish the same things. So I can be resourceful, but I still have to complete the task or
Yeah.
mission, so to say, right? So in nursing, there's not too many there's not too many opportunities to be resourceful and to really flex that creativity. But with photography, there's billions of ways to light and to shoot a single
Hmm.
shot.
Interesting.
And that's just how do I want to do it?
I remember asking you before, like, if you were to give yourself like a belt colored ranking in photography, like kind of like a jujitsu style belt colored ranking. You said like you're kind of in the
Hmm.
middle as far as photography, right? Maybe like a
Hmm.
purple belt or something. But do you know? Would you be able to do that with nursing? Like, do you consider
Yeah,
yourself about the same rank in nursing as you are photography?
I would say I'm about the same. I'm purple
Oh
belt.
yeah, and
Yeah,
is that
like
uh,
I'm pretty knowledgeable. Here's the thing: is the problem with nursing and also photography too.
mhm.
Like I'm a purple belt in wedding photography.
Okay? So that's now,
Like
yeah.
I'm a
That
white
was gonna be
belt,
my point.
and
Is like you were
yeah.
like you're kind of putting a stamp on nursing as a practice, but you like there's probably dozens of nursing vocations that you can that you can explore, and you probably tapped into a certain percentage of them, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of nursing that you probably don't have any experience with.
Oh, like they asked me to work in GI. They're like, "Can you help out in GI?"
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "Sure." I checked it out, and I'm like, "Wow!" Like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm a
Hmm.
nurse.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's going on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what the procedure is. I don't know
Right, right,
what the
right.
surgery is. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know the length of this. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: as a nurse in general, I can pick up on what's going on.
Hmm.
But can I say I'm proficient on the first day? No,
Hmm. Hmm.
absolutely not. So I'm a white belt
For
essentially.
that
You
type,
know,
yeah,
for that. Yeah, but then you stick me in wound care.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I have my black belt in wound care.
Hmm. Hmm. Because of the
Like
type
that's
of
the one. Like so, yeah, like because I've been in wound care for a while. Like I've
yeah,
developed the arm bar, I've developed the triangle, I've
yeah, yeah.
developed a top game, a bottom game. I have all that stuff in wound care.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I know what to look for, what to expect, how to approach it, how to attack it, how to
Right,
actually
right, right.
attack it, and then what to look for when I'm done.
Hmm.
So yeah, wound care, I got it. I actually got a certification in wound care,
Hmm.
like a special certification in wound care.
Uh-huh.
Now they have me in surgery. Like I'm working in surgery, not in actual surgery. I'm working in pre-surgery.
Hmm.
So I'm doing a lot more contact with the patients before they even get to the hospital.
Hmm.
I'm looking at labs to make sure things are straight, and I haven't looked at labs since I was in school.
Yeah.
So that's for me, that's something that I have to develop again. So I have a patient that comes in and they have some kind of cardiac problem.
Hmm.
Like, what are the things am I looking at? Am I looking for, do they have a certain type of X-ray that I need to look for? Do they have a consent that I need, or did they have this test? Is this test
Hmm.
appropriate? Did they get it? Is it within a certain amount of time? If not, do I have to have him come back in, or does he have an older test that a doctor will pass? So again, it's different workflow. So, but as a nurse, I'm still like I know how to become proficient in it, but I just need the reps.
For the type of nursing that you have experience with, though, I mean, do you think that there is a type of nursing out there that you're probably like, man, this is really not my cup of tea. I mean, or maybe in your mind, like it's all.
There's a lot of there's a lot of nursing gigs that I don't even
Mhm.
qualify for because I'm an LVN and not an RN.
Yeah, yeah. So for
So
those,
yeah,
like like your theory of non creativity may be a little bit off base. I mean, would you say, or would you still say that you know enough about that kind of nursing to say even those type of like nursing practices have very little creativity?
Again, I think that's a matter of being resourceful, because like in GI, they're go see not really actually, because like in GI they have, in surgery they have very specific procedures. You can't really just be like, well, I'm here.
What about EMT?
EMT, again, that's being resourceful. You have what's in your rig, and sometimes you need to do certain things,
Uh-huh.
and you might not have recommended product A, but you might have, if you're like, like, if this is the objective, if product A does objective A, is there any other products I can use and combine to make objective A still happen without using product A?
I mean,
That's where that
it's
resourcefulness
hard.
and
Like,
creativeness comes in. But
I
again,
don't know. Like, I would hate to think that nurses are limited in their exercising their creative juices because they don't have photography or they don't have another outlet for creativity. Like, I would like to think that you could find whatever you're looking for in nursing or any other field.
a lot of nurses, I know a lot of nurses that have creative outlets. I know a lot of nurses that paint. I know a lot of nurses that knit, that do stuff that's not always medical.
So, and in your mind, there's a correlation between nursing and the lack of creative outlets in nursing, like specifically nursing?
A job is a job. You like, your creative outlet right now is podcasting.
One of them.
Like, one of them, right? Or do you have jujitsu as
well? I mean,
well?
it's not to say that because I have podcasting as a creative outlet that it's being deprived from me somewhere else.
Well, would you say you have a creative outlet within your own job?
I think I can find one, yeah. And I think if you don't want one, then it doesn't have to be there. But I think if you want one, if you're looking for one, then I think it's there, yeah.
Okay.
Like
that's fair.
Yeah, like I mean, just as a blind statement, I feel like if I were a nurse and I wanted to be creative, I feel like there's an avenue of creativity in nursing. I don't know if, like, I probably would still podcast and I probably would still do jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess it depends on. Like, for me, I think you have enough creative outlets outside of nursing that you're not necessarily looking for it in nursing. Like you said, like you have you have a lot of creativity in jiu-jitsu, you have a lot of creativity in photography, and I know some of your hobbies. You're just kind of a creative person. So to say that again, if you're not looking for it, it doesn't need to be there. And so for you, kind of like following the protocol might be enough in nursing because, hey, I'm a nurse by day and I'm a creative person outside of this thing by night, so I don't need to find it out elsewhere. But if, let's say, you had a lot of protocol-driven activities outside of nursing and you were still trying to exercise your creative juices, then I feel like it would be there too. I mean, but hell, if you're the expert and I'm not.
No,
so
I mean,
don't know.
you're right. You're like the thing. But it's like, do I seek out photography because there is nothing for me in nursing, or you're saying like?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. Yeah, I don't think it's that deliberate. No, I think you like photography, and I think you like nursing. I think those are the things that you've chosen to make your living off of. One of your hobbies is jiu-jitsu, and I think that there's creativity there too. But I think that because you have photography, and it is creative, when you're in nursing, you don't have the urge to seek out creativity in nursing. And it's merely by coincidence at that point. But I don't think that you were looking for creativity and you didn't find it in nursing, so that's why you're a photographer. No, I don't think that's the case at all.
That was the point I was trying to make. I'm like, did I seek out photography because I have no outlets in nursing, or did I seek out photography just because I like photography? And I think that's more the latter than it is the former. Like I've always liked photography. Now, if I didn't have photography, would I find my creative outlets? Who knows? I don't have that problem, so it's not something for me to solve.
Yeah, it's basically hypothetical at that point, right? But like, because if you want to go another layer deep, I would say, let's say your field of nursing. Hell, let's say you're supervisor in nursing. Let's say they're looking for someone that's looking to be creative. Let's say you could be that person, but it's almost unfortunate for them that you have photography. Because now you don't even have the the itch to be creative in nursing because you already have
I don't know about that.
photography.
I think that the with photography you can kind of, or with anything, like I
Uh-huh.
do the same thing with jujitsu. It's all relatable.
You can throttle it. You can throttle up or down. You
Yeah,
can
well, you
control
can
it.
make it relatable. Everything in jujitsu is relatable.
Uh-huh.
Like, hey, this is your problem.
Hmm.
How do I solve it before he figures out that I'm solving it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. So
But you have to be looking for it though too, don't you? I mean, like even like in jiu-jitsu, they talk about like being on alert, right? Like, okay, when you see if it looks like someone's gonna pass your guard and get you in side control, then you can put yourself in a position to where you're not like flat on your back in side control to where it's really hard to get out. Like, you can position yourself to where one of your escapes is imminent. So like you have these um, anticipation cues to where you can prepare for the next step before it even comes. But you're also looking for the next step. Like, if you're not looking for it, if you don't know, then now you're like, oh man, I wish I would have known better because now I would have prepared differently.
okay. No, yeah, I think you'll figure out that eventually with jujitsu you develop game plans. It's like, well, I prefer this
Uh,
position, right? And to get to that
yeah.
position, I can get there from here. I can try going this way. I can try
Uh,
going this way. And then you're like, but to get to those five
mm,
positions, I can get there from here,
yeah,
here,
yeah.
here, and here. So it's like I want to get
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
my spot here. And that tree just
Yeah,
gets bigger
yeah,
and
yeah.
bigger as you go. So
Right,
it's
right, right,
again
right.
like it's the same thing. If I have problems in nursing, here's my objective. I can get there by completing, steps A, B, and C. Like, let's see the different ways I can
Yeah.
complete A, B, and C, either faster than the problem can evolve, or, in a way like
No, yeah, I
the.
got you. When you framework it that way, where it's a problem that's your own and you're trying to solve it, then yes, I agree. But what I'm saying is, let's say for you there is no problem, but for a supervisor or a coworker or like a manager, they say, "Hey, there's this issue that I feel like could become an issue," and for you at your level, it's not really an issue yet, so you're not anticipating it, you're not looking out for it. Then for them, they're like, "Man, I wish somebody were." Were spending resources tackling this issue for me. I don't know if I had the person here though because like they're not looking out for it too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
I do, and I
uh,
actually. So the solution to this, though, is
uh,
not within me, it's
uh,
within them. So
yeah.
the thing is, as a manager, their job is to be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses within their own personnel. Am I
Oh,
wrong?
good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah,
So if they're not good at their job,
yeah,
then how are they supposed to, like, their
yeah.
job is to figure, like
Which,
I have these pieces, what
uh,
can I do with these pieces? And if they're not thinking at that level,
yeah,
then they probably shouldn't be in management.
yeah. Well,
So,
yeah, yeah. That's a
and
true
here's the thing,
statement. Okay, go
but
ahead.
not always true,
Yeah, because
right?
what I was gonna say was if you're not, because now you're talking about like a brown belt manager. But hell, I mean, most managers aren't brown belts. They're like purple, blue belt at being managers, but they are managers. So I mean, sometimes you don't always get the cream of the crop, you know.
Right,
And
and this is the same thing. I tell people, for every doctor that you see that's at the top of his class, there's
uh,
a doctor at the bottom of his class.
yeah, yep,
So, just
yeah,
like with nurses,
yeah.
with nurses, you get nurses at the top of their class, and you also get nurses that are at the bottom of the class, just like
Like,
with every other
I
industry.
remember when I was in the Navy, or when we were in the Navy, for our training pipeline, we had basic training, we had nuclear field, A school, nuclear power school, and then we had nuclear prototype, right? And at every step of the way, they were like, "Oh, your instructors are the best that it gets. Like, they're the best of the fleet. Like, they were chosen specifically to train you guys." Man, when we get to the fleet, you're like, "That was such a load of crap, dude." There was some billet open, and then there was some kind of somebody was up for reenlistment, or they were up for like sea or shore duty rotation, and they put a bid for it, and the detailer assigned them to that bid. I have no idea if they were the best of the best. I have no idea if they were the bottom of the best. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing: they have to qualify. If they qualify, they're eligible, and you
Oh
would
my
think
goodness!
you
Give me
would think that
that.
if they qualify, there's a minimum set of standards that have to apply, right?
Yeah, you would think.
So,
You ever been in a car when a 16-year-old is driving? They qualified, right? Hey, here's my license. That means I'm a good driver,
yeah.
right?
I take it that's like driving with Crystal, right?
She's not 16.
Well, I know, but I'm sure you drove with her when she first got her license.
Yeah, that's any of us when we were 16, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
dude, the first 20 minutes of me driving when I was 16, I locked the key in the car.
That's
We didn't.
professional right there. That's so professional.
Yeah. This was before keyless entry and stuff. I think if there was keyless entry, then like keyless entry, I feel like prevents those kind of situations more than being a
I
dumbass
can't tell you how many
does.
times I've locked my keys in my car in Hawaii. Like it's pretty embarrassing, actually.
Like, not only do I gotta unlock this stuff, but
Yeah.
like whatever plans we had for the rest of the day, yeah, we can't do that. We can't.
Oh no, the best part is like when you call the tow driver and they recognize you. They're like, "Didn't I just fix
When,
your shit like last
when the tow
weekend?"
truck driver has
Dude,
your set of spare keys.
Yeah. They're like, "You like?" I was like, "Oh, we kept your copy, bro. It's actually we give a copy to everybody."
When the tow truck driver has you on caller ID,
Yeah.
and then when you call them, they're like, "Hey, Paul, same spot? Are you at work again, or
Yeah, dude, same bar, right? Same bar.
same bar?"
Shit. Yeah.
I don't know, like
Yeah.
that's how I think
Uh,
losing or forgetting your phone is a little more common now, but you're just as lost. Like without your phone, you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta find the phone. What do I do without my phone?" Right? It's like your lifeline to the world.
yeah.
Like I can't
So
even
no,
call
but that's
anybody to tell them that I
I
lost
tell
my phone because I don't have any phone numbers memorized in my mind anymore.
I tell people all the time. I'm like, yeah, losing your phone shouldn't happen, right? Because I'm like, yeah, because it's never happened to me, right? No, I lose my phone all the time. But the great thing is I have an Apple Watch. So with the Apple Watch, you can hit a button and it pings it. Like it sends out a signal to your phone that
Yeah.
will make the phone go loud essentially. So
It can alert
yeah.
someone to contact you that they have your phone.
Well, it's like the watch only works within Bluetooth range. So if you're within 30 feet, then
Oh, you'll
you'll
hear it.
hear
So
it.
you'll hear
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. I do a lot of like externalizing with my car keys. Like I read about that in this there's a book that I read, but it talked about externalizing your thoughts so you like kind of like just external reminders. And what I do is I'll put my car keys near something that I don't want to forget. Like I'll put them near my lunchbox at work, or like my car charger when I'm wherever, or like not like my phone charger. Say if I'm like at a public place and I'm like I unplug my phone and I go to get it back, I'll put my car keys near the phone charger, so because I can't drive off without the car keys, but I might drive off without the phone
Yeah,
charger. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, I hear what you're saying.
So I'll do that like
I
every
hear
once
what
in a
you're saying.
while. It looks kind of weird, but I'm like, dude, I know you're laughing at me, but I'd rather you laugh at me than not have my phone charger.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's funny though. I find myself doing that often. Well, stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
and like physical reminders. Like, there's no way. Like, this is dummy proofing it,
Yeah.
right? And people
Yeah,
will
yeah,
see that
yeah.
and they go, "That's a great idea."
That's a good idea. It is, doesn't
That's a
it?
good
It
idea.
works.
Yeah, I'm
It
like,
works.
well, yeah, I hate losing my keys, so I can't lose them
Yeah.
like that, But then, short of tying your phone to your wrist, it's like,
Like another example, let's say I gotta take the trash out tomorrow morning, but I'm already in bed. Like I don't really want to get up in the middle of the night to do it. So, but how am I gonna remember to do it in the morning? So I have to do something, right? Like I might put a toy in the middle of the stairs so I trip over it, or I might like what I'll do sometimes I'll put my wedding ring on my other finger. Like it's not usually on my left hand ring finger. I'll put it on my right hand ring finger because when I wake up it feels awkward. And I'm like, what the hell is this doing here? Oh yeah, I gotta I gotta take the trash out.
you're like,
I mean,
oh yeah,
something it does-
my girlfriend's a bitch. Like, always fucking with me.
How did you do that when I was asleep?
I know, like I didn't even notice. It's fucking good.
And so far, like knock on wood, so far, I can't remember a time where I've given myself one of those external cues and not remembered the reason. Like
Why is it
can
here?
you, like
I put the
I did this
carrots
for
on top of the
something.
milk. I put the carrots on top of the milk. I don't remember. Are we short on carrots, or
what about
do we have too many carrots? Do I not need to get carrots?
I got an empty milk carton on my driver's seat.
It's so
What
weird.
what am I trying to remember? What am I trying to remember?
For some reason, there's a microphone on my computer. And I trying to remember something, or did I just Why would I put the microphone on my seat? How weird.
Weird. But yeah,
Yeah.
so because I feel I usually do feel like I don't. Sometimes I try to go the opposite way with it. So sometimes if there's something that's kind of arbitrary, like I need to remember that, but if I don't remember, it's not a big deal. Sometimes I'll physically try to not remind myself because I want to exercise those muscles in my brain to remind myself, or like even memorizing a number. Like there's sometimes when I gotta at work I gotta get like a scale weight and then come back inside and write it down. Well, sometimes I just instead of like writing it down on a sticky note or something, I'll just try to remember it. And it's just a little challenge I do in my own mind. Just I don't know if it helps
Oh,
or
fuck
not.
that.
But...
Because I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget. So, fuck that. I'm not even going to challenge that. Let's see if I can forget something. Let's see if I can forget something.
Now
Let's
I gotta
see.
walk all the way back over there.
Why would you challenge yourself to forget something?
No, I challenge myself to remember it.
Yeah, but that's like, you can look at that in two ways. I'm thinking you're challenging yourself to forget something. Let's see if I can forget this shit. Like, I don't have enough shit on my mind already.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's just calling it one thing, not the other, but it's actually the same exact thing.
You're like, I'm kind of dumb.
It's like we have on some of our tests at work, we have like, what's the freezing point of this product? Like, say there's a product, like, hey, what's the freezing point of this product? I'm like, oh, it's 60 degrees. Okay, and what's the melting point? If the freezing point was 60 degrees, what do you think the melting point is? It's you're going from a solid to a liquid, a liquid to a solid to a liquid and liquid to a solid.
It's the same point, you idiot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
But a lot of people ask me that, and I'm like, I'm gonna let you answer that one.
I'm sorry, did you just repeat the question?
Yep. Well, yeah,
Now, unless you're talking about how much energy it requires to go from state to state, because I understand that's different.
yeah, maybe.
Now, that would be a smarter question to ask an engineer, but when you come up with a better question, please feel free to contact me. Or I could just call you a fucking idiot. How about that?
Well, you're not a brown belt on this category. Oh man, I injured my jiu-jitsu instructor yesterday. It sucked. Like, yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't.
really?
I think it was like in the fundamentals class too. Like he was teaching us some kind of side control escape, kind of like a sweep into, like from you when you're on the bottom to when you're on the top. And then he was like, "All right, now put your knee up." And then he pointed to the spot on the mat where I was supposed to put my knee up. Well, I ended up putting my knee up, and I kneed his finger like where he was pointing.
Slow down,
And he
Turbo.
said he popped his knuckle back. Yeah.
You're like, dude.
So the dialogue,
like,
like, if you're just listening, he's like, knee here, knee. Oh, okay, dang. And then somebody, another training couple was at, Professor, are you okay? I tried to teach this guy. He hurt me, man.
Your Portuguese is getting better, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. My English Portuguese.
Your English Portuguese.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My English Portuguese was good for a while. It was.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as good as before. So I like to order.
Sometimes that's all I know. Like when we first started taking jiu-jitsu, it seems like that's like the first class, just trying to understand the English Portuguese.
The first class today. No guard.
No.
Side control.
Our instructor, he uses the word energy a lot, like without the Y. Like instead of saying energy, he's like, "You conserve your energy," and I'm like,
That's
energy, right?
That's Brazilian for you right there, man. It's
Yeah.
like Portuguese. It's like I call it like, and this is no disrespect to Portuguese or to the Brazilians, but it sounds like dirty Spanish. Like
All these damn black belts are gonna come gunning for you.
it just sounds like dirty Spanish. Like it sounded like you fell asleep in the middle of your Spanish. Whatever proper Spanish is, fall asleep like halfway through, and that's like through whatever word you're saying, and that's what it sounds like to be listening to Portuguese.
You know what I do now though? Like I'll catch myself speaking English Portuguese to the instructors because I feel like that's the best way they understand my English.
Yeah, no, I used
Like,
to do
if
that all the
I-
time.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
would think, I'm like, look, I'm not mocking you. I think you would just understand me better
Yeah.
if I tried to.
Yeah.
But it's better than me like trying to say it louder. You know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because I actually don't. I don't think. I mean, I'm hoping that they don't seem like they're getting offended by it because really, proper English is just different English. So different is improper to them. You know. So I just try to help it so that we both understand each other. That's all. And I try that. I try to do that with every language. I mean, hell, I got a Vietnamese family that lives right in my house, and I try to do that with them too.
Oh, right in your house? How crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they're my family. It's not like there's another family other than
I was gonna
mine
say
living in
that's
my
how
house.
weird would that be? You're like, I got a Vietnamese family in my house. Another one. They're, you know,
Yeah.
after during the hurricane, they just came over and they haven't left. Like, Charlene can talk to them, but I have no idea what's going on.
A lot of
And they put
translating
the
going
carrots
on.
on top of the milk. It was really weird. So
I noticed that one of them always wears their ring finger on their right hand.
I know.
Their wedding ring.
She keeps taking my ring off and putting it onto some on my other fingers.
I'm
I
like,
woke
what
up
the
with it on my
heck?
pinky the other day.
Yeah, that's why I take the trash out like 4 times a week now.
Oh my god. Oh jeez.
Well, this was a bit of nonsense.
Just a little.
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't know. I came into it thinking we were going to talk about sibling favoritism. We end up talking about freaking broken English and second families living inside your house.
Not second families, random families. Not just no. That's second family would be like your mom moving in, like your mom and then Chow's mom moving in at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
like
But
that'd
it-
be second, but like a random Vietnamese family.
But then when you walk around, you're like, do I know you?
Are you having visitors over? Imagine, you're saying that to the second family. Like, are you guys having
Yeah.
like friends over or something? This one's new. This one's new. Like,
When you're in your own house and you have to ask somebody else if you can use the. Excuse me, is this restroom being taken? I need to take it. Wait a minute, I live here.
wait a second. Yeah. Oh, so last night, one of Tiana's wedding vendor friends DJ'd their Halloween party, which me and Tiana didn't go to because we were both busy. So,
Okay.
but the thing is, he wanted to stop by the house and, you know, see the house because I guess he's never seen the house. Shit, my own parents have, like, my dad hasn't seen the
Yeah.
house, my brother hasn't seen, whatever. Anyways, we don't have a dining table. Like, we barely have any furniture. It's like if you were to come over with your 2 kids and wife, we'd have a bed for you, but that's about it. Like, there's nothing else to do there. You know.
Okay.
So, anyways, he comes over, but then I'm like, you know, Tiana's like, just, you know, come downstairs. Don't be upstairs. You know, I'm like, it's your friend. You know, like I don't know this guy. You know,
Yeah.
and he doesn't know me, so it's not like he's gonna make talk with me. You
Oh,
know,
she's
and-
not there. Like it's just you.
No, she's
and-
there. No, she's there.
Oh, okay.
Right? No, so
Yeah.
the thing is like, so I would start watching TV, right?
Yeah.
And they start having a conversation like right behind me,
Uh-huh.
right? So what do I do?
Do you leave?
No, I just turn the fucking TV up, like to like drown them out.
Oh yeah, you said that's the only TV that's really like in use in the house, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she's like, Tiana's like, Paul, that's really loud. Can you turn that down? I'm like, I can't hear it though. So then her friend goes, all right, I guess I'll go outside and whatever. I'm like, all right, man, later. Yeah, I'm not here for you, bro. Like, you're in my house. You know, and you're talking over the TV that I'm trying to listen to. It's a documentary. Like, I'm really trying to listen,
If it was
and I don't want to have to pause it or rewatch. If I really wanted to pause it and rewatch it, I'd pause it and rewatch
if it was a Jackie Chan movie,
But I
it's
don't.
fine. I would just do subtitles and I could just watch the action
Yeah.
sequences.
Right, exactly. So I'm like, and then Tiana's like, why do you gotta be so rude? I'm like, I'm being rude? You're having a conversation right behind me as I'm trying to watch TV in the only part of the house that has a TV. You have an entire acre's worth of house to have this conversation. But you have to do it right behind me.
What was the deal?
Right behind me. I'm like, look, I'm glad you have friends over and you want to talk to them. Cool.
Yeah.
But don't interrupt my shit because you want to have a conversation. Fucking have that conversation outside. Or, better yet, have it somewhere else. But I'm home, and I want to be home. So let me fucking do my shit at home. If you don't want me to be at home, you want to have that conversation, I'll go back to the office. Fair?
Was it? Was
Fair.
it fair?
I don't know. Was it?
Viewers,
It's
turn
like,
in.
how am I the asshole? You stepped into my house to have a conversation with my wife behind me while I'm trying to watch TV. Sorry. I'm going to turn it up now. It's like, and here's the thing. We got like Bose surround sound speakers. I was like, cool.
Hey, can you turn that down?
She's
What?
like, Paul, yeah? I can barely hear you. What was that? I can barely hear you. What was that? I can't hear you. That's the point.
Don't worry, I'll find out what you were saying after the show's over.
Yeah, as soon as this game's done, because I can't listen to the commentary when you guys are talking.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I'm the rude one. It's like when Tiana bursts into the room and decides to yell at me while we're doing a podcast.
She probably knows it's effective. She's like,
Well, yeah, because it's like we're both in shock. Like, is this really happening? Like,
that works. Somehow he listens that way. Yeah, she's
He seems to
externalizing
get
her.
how weird.
It's different than putting the carrots on top of the milk in the fridge. That one doesn't work.
He's not getting it. He must have forgotten. he when I put the carrots on top of the milk, I'm having friends over. Duh. How did you forget? I was challenging you to forget.
You don't challenge somebody else. That's a dick move, dude.
That's the difference between guys and girls right there. That's the difference between guys and girls. Women will challenge you to forget, while guys will challenge you to remember. Fundamental difference. But do you remember this fact? Fuck, right? But then with girls, have you forgotten? Wait a second, I didn't even know. Well, you must have forgotten then, because I told you. Whoa.
No means yes, and yes
Jesus.
means no. When you lose, you win. Yeah, and it happens all the time. It's kind of inevitable. Like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you want to eat?
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Well, that's a setup.
That's the setup. Now, I told Tiana, I told her, like, because I got really upset at her. Like, I was like, I'm not going to play this lunacy with you. You know, this is absolutely maddening, and I refuse to continue through life having the same conversation like this over and over again. I got really upset, if you can't tell. Like, right?
I hope so.
So I told,
hope,
this is an actual conversation I had with her.
If this was just like a Tuesday, like, then I don't want to see very upset.
Yeah. So, what's it called? I told her, I said, look, if you come to me with, what do you want to eat? And I tell you, and you don't want to eat there,
We're eating there.
tough shit. We're eating there. But guess what? If you come to me with 3 options, they better be options that you want to go to. Because if you give me 3 options and I pick one and you're like, nah, let's not go there, fuck you. Like, what kind of fucking fucked up game is this? Like, hey, do you want to go to Red Lobster, Olive Garden, or Cheesecake Factory? Oh shit, let's go Cheesecake Factory.
We just went there yesterday.
Nah, let's not go there. You know how fucking stupid that sounds? Yeah. You know how stupid that sounds? And then you're gonna wonder why I get pissed off? Like, that's the dumb. Oh my god,
that doesn't because that does
like
okay.
that.
So to me, that happens. Yes, females is a factor, but also the more in a group, the more likely that it is to happen. Maybe not in a group with you, because I know your MO is kind of like, I'm gonna take care of me first. But like I've noticed in big groups, like it happened a lot when I was doing port calls in the Navy. where we're all happy to be off the ship, or let's get a hotel. We can do whatever we want. Like, all right, what do you guys want to eat? I don't care. What do you want to eat? I don't care. I'm up for whatever. What do you guys want to eat? I don't know. Whatever. Let's just go somewhere. Like,
Like I learned. No, I learned. For me, I just go, hey, I'm
Yeah.
eating here.
it's either gonna be a table for one or however.
If you want to go, cool. If not,
Yeah.
whatever. Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to eat there. Like
Yeah.
it's not a question. It's a statement. I just stop asking people because I'm like, fuck you. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. I'm gonna go eat here. If you have another suggestion, I'm open. But if you don't, if you're like whatever,
Because
guess
remember,
where we're going.
like this happened when we were the last time I saw you. I think it was the last time I saw you in California a couple years ago. We were gonna meet with Christian, and something happened with his flight. Like his flight was really delayed or something. Well, because we wanted to eat at one restaurant, but then because of the flight delay, we were meeting up with somebody else. Then we ended up going somewhere a different restaurant. Well, our intention was to meet up with him. Like that was the first and foremost. Yeah, but
Yes,
also
it's Christian. It's your brother.
Yeah.
Just like tonight.
Hint, hint. Wink, wink. No, our intention was to meet up with him. But even if we weren't going to, we did have, like, there was a sequence of what we were going to do if we couldn't meet up with him. Right? We weren't just undecided until we met up with him. Like, we were literally in the waiting room of another restaurant waiting for him. Like, look, if he doesn't show up, remember?
Oh yeah, that was at Islands, right?
Yeah. I was thinking of the restaurant. I remember it was in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, that's when I took all those selfies with.
Yeah, with my
with
you're
Charlie.
right, you're right. And so
Yeah, I actually made the video that year.
yeah. And then so we had so we were waiting for him, and then while waiting for him, we were deciding, hey, when he gets here, let's decide what to eat. But if he never showed up, we were already ready to go, a place to eat. Like, dude,
we were in line to eat.
Yeah.
We're like, well, shit, we're here,
yeah,
like ready to
yeah.
order.
So we're like, dude,
So
okay, so come meet us, or give us an exact place to be. Like, if you're undecided, then you come here. Those are the options. If you're decided,
Yeah.
no problem, we'll meet you there.
Yeah.
You know, we're not totally dicks to where we're just gonna say we don't care what you say. Like, we don't care what you want. So he decided on a place. Wherever he and whoever else we were meeting, they decided on a place, and we were gracious enough to come meet him there. We aborted our mission, and we went to go meet him there. But what we weren't going to do was leave our place and then go with them somewhere to go decide where to eat.
no, fuck
Yeah, we
that.
were not going
I
to
am
do
not about
that. We're like, hey, while you guys
I
are
am
deciding,
not about that.
while you guys are deciding, we're going to eat here.
Yeah. If you want to join us for food while you guys are deciding where to eat, we'll be here.
While you're deciding, have some nachos.
I got some nachos, some chicken wings. I got a sampler, like I always do. Because guess what? I know you're indecisive as fuck.
I got you something
Oh
to
my
drink
God.
too, because I figured you might be thirsty.
Bitch. You gotta throw that in there too. Bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember this is gonna sound horrible, because it is.
Oh, great.
So I was at a
Just freaking
hospital.
spit it out, dude.
I was at a hospital, and I ran to one of my buddies who's also working at the hospital.
Okay.
And I saw him sitting at a table with two other people, and I just sat down with them because I'm like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
talk to my friend.
Uh-huh.
So I talked to my friend, and we were having this exact same conversation about being indecisive,
Okay.
like about food,
Uh-huh.
you know. And so this girl's like, oh, you know, my boyfriend or fiance can't ever figure out where he wants to eat, and you know, we always had this conversation like, where do you want to eat? I'm like, all right, so why don't you just tell him where he wants to eat? Because then you can't be indecisive. You've already chosen for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't want to be mean. And I said, well, what's mean is depriving someone of food. And if the longer it takes to make that decision, the longer you're depriving them of food. So I'm still trying. And then I went, and this just came out. Okay. I was like, so while you're getting married to an indecisive little bitch, you should probably just go eat.
Jesus, man.
And she's like, you don't know my fiance. I'm like, I don't want to know someone that indecisive. So I was.
Well,
she's
that
like,
escalated
she picked up her
quickly.
tray and left. She picked up her tray and left. And I look over at my friend. I'm like, is she gonna report me?
Jesus. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've never
He's
had
like,
to ask that
he,
to a different somebody at work. You should have started that story with that sentence. Like,
yeah, this story ends
so let
with,
me tell.
am I getting reported?
So let me tell you about this time I almost got reported.
Not almost. Like, I have no idea if I did or not. Like,
Yeah,
oh man,
in
it's
my
such a
book,
dick
that's
move.
in my book, that's almost. Because
Oh
most
god.
every day that I've been at work, I'm pretty sure I didn't get reported. But for you, that day, you're like, shoot, I don't know. That's an
Yeah.
almost in
I
my
was like,
book.
am I in trouble? And as I get older, I'm having less of those moments. Like less of those moments where I'm like, shit, am I in trouble? Like I used to have that conversation with myself all the time. All the time.
Wow. Now you're like, damn, I'm in trouble. Now it's like a
Now
statement.
it's like, for sure, I'm in trouble. Like, oh, fuck. Yeah, we did not have to go there, but we did. Sorry. So,
Sometimes you can start the
yeah.
story with the end, and then fill your way back in the middle. It's like you can story tell like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I was gonna say
Where
like
he'll tell
Tarantino.
Yeah, where he'll tell the end of the movie first, and then he'll tell you how they got there.